Alright, here we go, part 2 of modeling for the medieval challenge. And we're going to work on this house again. I got the reference image in behind. Let's have a look at what we need to do. We are going to start working on, I think, the door. So let's do this. Let's go in, put down an edge loop, go into wireframe, and Control B. Let's pull out like that. And let's drop an edge loop there and pull this down to about the middle of there. So that should give us that for the door. Okay, now next thing is we will do a few other things and then we'll get that on. Let's put the shadow on too, makes it a little easier. Yeah, okay. In wireframe, if we grab this piece here and I Shift D, let's pull it up out of the way and let's delete some of this. Let's delete all of these pieces. Select and Control L, X vertices. I'll be left with that piece there. And that's what I want. And I'm going to do this. So let's rotate Y90 and slide it over. I can go with that. Let's just start scaling that in the Z. And I just want it to project under a little bit. Box select this bottom and pull it up. Let's see how that's looking. Okay, let's select that. Let's make sure there's no ends. Okay, that's fine. In fact, I guess I could be getting rid of the back faces as well. I suppose I could go around later and do that, or I could just do that right now. Let's just push that in and have it under a little bit. Okay, so we got that. And we could mirror that to the other side. Let's just try to mirror it and see. Okay, we're in good shape for that. So those are going to go on there. Just want to make sure, yeah, they are in. Okay, then we're going to come in. I'm going to take one, Shift D. I'm going to pull that out here and go back into wireframe. I'm going to rotate and its position. And I'm going to switch over to normal. And I'm going to scale in the Y now. Pull it up. Scale in the Y a bit more. And this piece I want to push in a little bit. Like that. Let's see if I'm happy with that position. That's alright. It's alright like that. Now, is that all one unit? That is all one unit. And let's see if I can just mirror it to the back there. Let's get rid of that for now. Okay. So that's there. Let's bring that back and look from the front and look in. So we got this, we got that piece. So we're looking at the door, I think. So let's say if we take this again, Shift D, pull it down, and I'm going to get rid of the mirror for now. And go into actually solid view. We'll come in and that one's already selected. Just make sure Control L. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to global. So I got that piece there. And let's slide this over. And let's scale this in the X to make it thinner. And grab the top and pull it up. I think I'll scale in the X a little bit more. And grab the bottom and pull it down. I want this to, I think it's going to go under here and in the wall, right? Okay. So got that. So now I could probably just mirror that over. And that'd be a piece of the frame. And then what if I guess grab it again and Shift D will rotate Y 90. I'll get rid of the mirror and use this piece up here. Just go to wireframe and scale it in the X. Bring it up and then down, and looks like I have to pull it over here. Let's just make sure it looks relatively even. I'll have to cap this off, so let's do that. Let's select that edge and let's select this edge, and I'm going to go back in and actually grab this front and pull it out a bit. Now we can bend some of these later to warp them. So for right now, we'll just leave it like that. And I think that's going to be okay. And now what's probably going to happen is I'm going to have to deal with this. Now, so I might need to pull these out. Let me just think about this for a moment. If they're going to come out like this, and if this one is going to come out like that, then I'll just deal with something down here later on. Actually, this is going to be cut and these are going to project down to the ground now that I think about it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's come in here and Control B and pull, and it may not be exactly centered. So let's just scale in the X and get under here, and let's delete those faces. So I have that, and we'll come down here as well, put an edge loop there, and Control B, and I'll come back so that it's under these as well. Scale in the X a little bit, and I can delete those faces, and then I can pull these down. Maybe I'll cap it off for now and see what we'll do down there. So that would be my door opening. All right. And now I'm just going to bring my 3D cursor there. It's really not there. Let's have to bring it there. Okay. And again, I've got back faces on some of these, I guess. So, okay, let's go into wireframe and have a look at this. Okay, roughly what I'm looking for. I'll bring a plane in, rotate X 90, scale it down, and position it in the door frame area. Grab that bottom edge and pull it down. I just need to think about where I am. I'm going to pull it, how far am I pulling it? Is it going to go all the way down? Let's have a look here. No, there's a step there, so it's going to come to about the level of that. I'll just bring it to there. Okay, I'm going to pull it out, though, make it a little easier to work on. And I'm going to put the planks. Okay, so Control R a few times, maybe to there. So I've got those. Let's go back. And I will warp it a bit, so I'll just put a few edges there. And then like before, I'm going to select and control, select and control, select and control, Y to separate, G to make sure, select it all, go into individual origins, and I'm going to scale in the X and just sort of push in and then pull back. I don't want them too far apart. I do want a bit of a gap like that, let's say. And then in edge selection, I'll go back to median point, select proportional editing, random, grab and just pull a little bit and push a little bit. I can roll my mouse to change that. Just a little bit of deformation, just like this. Okay, and then I'll turn that off, and then I'll think about if I want to do a little bit of this kind of stuff as well. Just to make them a little uneven. Not by too much. I mean, this is the door and it might look a bit weird. Let's do this one. And this one. Just like that. Okay, good. And now just make sure applied all transforms and everything is good. Let's add solidify. And I think I will go back to give the thickness of my door, something like that. Okay. And I will add a bevel, and we'll try 0.01. And then go back in, and in individual origins, scale them one more time. Pull, no, scale in the X one more time, just pull them in and see how that looks. Hopefully that's okay. Let's try pulling it back in. May not even see those. I'm actually going to scale this up a little bit. I'm going to scale this in the Z and make it fit a little bit and come down a little further down there. And I can scale it again if I need to. So I'm going to set the origin to geometry. No, not. Set the origin to geometry there. And I think I'm okay with this, so I'm going to go ahead and apply those. Control A on those. I will shade smooth and add auto smooth. And then what we'll do is I'm going to make a small change to this, but I will put some planks of wood there. And to do that, I'm just going to borrow something like this. Actually, maybe it'd be easier to just borrow this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to set the origin to geometry on that. Shift D, I'm going to pull that down. Go into edit mode and scale it like this. Let's pull it out and make it narrower. I'll scale it in the Y. I'm going to flip this around, but I'm going to get rid of this face and not both of those faces. Oh, there's only one face on it. Okay, good. In that case, I will start pushing that in. Let's scale that in the Y again. And just scale it globally. And just get that to fit in there. Into the door. Like that, but alright, maybe I will make it longer. Okay, something like that. Let's have a look in wireframe and see how far we're off. I'll put it there. I may put some other stuff on this door. I may put some hinges and other stuff. So because of that, this is temporary. I just scaled it in object mode, so let's do that. Okay, let's select that and bring the 3D cursor there and put some bolts of some sort. So I'm going to do mesh circle, and I'm going to do just I don't know, maybe 8 vertices. Yeah, I mean, that should be a median point. I think that was causing me some trouble before. Rotate X 90, scale it down. Have to make a face. I'm going to extrude this back and delete that back face. And maybe I'll just scale that down and shade smooth with auto smooth. I think I'll do a bevel on it though of 0.01. See how that looks. It almost looks like it's too much for it to handle anyhow. So maybe instead I will take this and just Control B myself and put a segment or two in there. I just want that basically. That's good enough. Pull that in and slide it along, and let's see roughly where those are. It's hard to tell, but it looks like pretty much every plank. And so the way I'll do this is, first of all, by the way, I have a feeling we've probably got some flipped polys. We don't, so I was wrong. The way I'll do this is just with an array, and I'll move it along, roughly into the middle of each plank, and just increase the count. And that looks a little bit odd there. Let's try this. That's all right, I guess. All right, I'm going to apply that, and I'm going to join those. And that'll do that. So maybe I won't do that. Maybe I will I'll apply that bevel, and then I'll join them. And we'll have to unwrap all this stuff later, but that's for later. All right, Shift D, duplicate it down here. So that all looks good. And we'll create a doorknob. We're going to do a different doorknob. I'll do it up there though. Mesh circle, let's go for 16. Rotate X 90. F to make face. Let's bring it over here somewhere. And we'll start. I want it kind of big to start with. You'll see. Heat extrude will come out. And then I'm going to scale in a bit. And then I'm going to add inset. And I want this. I'm going to extrude out like this. And then I'm going to come out like that. E, and come to there. And then I think I'll just bevel back and roll my mouse up to make it sort of round. I need this. And actually, I generally like to have that flat coming off. I'll scale it down a bit. And we'll shade smooth, and we'll add auto smooth. Yeah, that kind of a thing first of all. And it might end up being in between planks, but not there. I'll come up with the location in a bit. Let's set the origin of geometry, and probably put it somewhere like that. Okay, and then off of this, I'm going to have a torus hanging down. I'll just lower this to like something like 12 and 8 maybe. And let's see if we maybe we do this, and then we'll scale it all down in object mode. Rotate X 90. And we'll have it hanging there. And I'll shade smooth that. And that's basically what I'm going for. And what I'll do is I may actually scale that in the Y. Just make it a bit chunkier and get this into the position I want, and then I'm going to join those like that. And I may do that. And then just decide on the size of this thing. I do want it kind of large and funny looking. Flip those polys. Let's have a look at this. Okay. All transforms, set origin to geometry, and just drop it down for now and leave it be. And we'll come back. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is some windows. So over to this side. Now I have an edge loop there. So that splits that. And what I think I'm going to do is take that piece and break it out. And on the other side, I'm going to delete those faces because I'm going to copy this over. So I've got this. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to get rid of that dissolve edges. So that's now a solid piece again. So I'm going to work on that right there. So I might as well bring my 3D cursor there. And I'm going to make some windows like this. So Shift A, Mesh, Cube, scale it down. And because I can't do it against the diagram, it's just going to get the size that you like. All right, so I put one somewhere in there. And just keep in mind I have to have a frame going around it. I don't need them too big, but I want them kind of big. Like this is oversized for this size of door, and I'm kind of going for that cartoony look. So I'm going to do it like that. So let's say I had that there, and my 3D cursor, let's see, is it there for that thing? Let's try just mirroring this here. And seeing, I kind of want them a little bit more. All right. Actually, because we're going to come down on the sides here with those, I think I might need a bit more room. So I'm just going to do them there. All right. And we're going to cut through. I mean, I suppose I could just cut anyway, but I'm going to Boolean them through. That's going to be fine. So, yeah, let's make sure that those aren't flipped. No, they're not. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so select here, Boolean difference with the eyedropper. Select those, apply. Take this. I'm going to turn off the mirror for now, and I'll just hide that. So we'll see we've got some holes going in. We'll copy that to the other side in a bit. Alt H. We're going to use this to make a frame. Let's do one at a time. So bring that out, scale it in the X a little bit, or quite a lot actually, to make the frame. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and then select this face and the back face. Okay, up from the side. And I'm going to press I inset, pull it in to make the thickness of the frame. Keep in mind these are pieces of wood. And Control E, bridge edge loops, so that is cut through. But I don't want it just like a solid kind of block. I want to make it look a little bit like wood. So the way I figured I would do this is I'm going to Shift Alt and click all those faces and those faces, and press Y and G and escape. And I've got all that. Now I can select everything. I'm going to go into individual origins, and I'm just going to S to scale, and I'm going to push, and it pulls them apart just a little bit. And then I'm going to come in, press 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click, and F to make a face. So I'm going to do that on all these pieces so that they're like pieces of wood that are, you know, closed on the end, I guess you would say. You would say something like that. F. Okay, I will go ahead and add the bevel modifier. Now this might be a little bit weird because of the shape of these things, so I think I'm going to tone down the bevel, like about there. All right, I'm going to come back in. I'm still in individual origin to S, and I'm going to pull them close, but just not too close, but just so it looks like a little bit of a split, so it looks like pieces of wood. And again, mind you, it looks like perfect pieces of wood because we haven't warped any of this, and we'll see if we get to that. I'm going to push that in like this, and then we'll do some pieces in between. So like I don't know what you call it, the inside pieces. Bring a 3D cursor there and bring in another cube. Scale it down. And I'll take the top face and bring it into here, but I'm going to get rid of that face. And let's go in a wireframe and get rid of that one as well. Okay, and just get the size that you like. I'm going to scale Shift Z, not in the Z direction. I do want them out a little bit because I'm going to put a pane of glass in behind them. You can do any kind of fancy thing you wanted here, but I was thinking I would just do the bevel. 0.01, and let's see. See, that's a little bit much even for those, so I'm going to do a little bit less. I just want a small gap. Okay, so I've got one there, and then Shifty, rotate X90, and pull it back a little ways, so, you know, they're crossing, but you see some, whatever. All right, and that's fine there as well. So I'm going to apply all transforms. I'm going to apply that, and what do? Apply it all transforms, and just hover over here and Control A, and I'm going to join these, Control J, and I'll have that. Now I haven't always been shading smooth. Sometimes I forget, so I'll do that, and double check that we are okay. And in behind here, like I say, is a pane of glass. Now I'm going to put it in for now, And then I'll probably be breaking this stuff out later. So I'm just going to move that to about there. And how's my size? Yeah, my size is okay. So that's the pane of glass. That might need to be flipped. No, it doesn't. And I'm going to join all these. Let's see. Do I have that? I'm going to control it. I'm going to apply that. So I got that, and that. I'm going to control J. So I can mirror all this. And then, of course, when I go to texture it, I'm not going to texture all 4 of these. I'm going to texture 1. So we'll be doing some other work later. But I'm going to copy Shift D. And I put it right there. And I'm going to select these because I know they're central and bring the 3D cursor there. And then I'm going to copy this. I'm going to mirror that over. So that's there. And I guess I will join those for now. I'll set the origin to the 3D cursor and I will mirror those over as well. I know it looks weird with the pane of glass in there, but that will be other glass later. I think what I'll do now is I will do the cross beam parts. So I'm going to take, how about this? Control L to get it all, Shift D, pull it out. I'm going to get rid of the mirror for now. And let's rotate Z 90. And just start positioning this underneath. And we'll look at the diagram. And they're relatively narrow. Well, they might be the same. I don't know. I'm going to make them... What am I going to do? I'm just going to scale them to wide just a little bit. So I do want it underneath there. And I want it actually broken out. P to break it out so it's not affecting those other ones. Okay, it's up that high. That's fine. And I'm going to come in wireframe. And I'm going to box select here. These are going to go down and insert underneath that panel there. That's good. Okay, I just want to look at the diagram, see how far. Okay, so equidistant on either side of the window, if at all possible. So just Shift D to duplicate it. Take both of them, Shift D to duplicate, and bring them down. So those are all one thing, right? Can I just mirror those? Are we set up for a mirror? Yes, we are. All right. Now, there might be some things I'm missing. I might not have shaded smooth for all these things and done all this stuff. But I was going to leave it for now. Okay, now what happened here? Did I lose my mirror? I think we're okay. Let's have a look around. Yeah. Okay, so here is another idea I was playing with. I'm going to take a piece here. I haven't done this for a while. I'm just going to grab that piece and scale it so I'm in the zone of where I want to be. And let's focus on that. So this is just like a work in progress right now. Let's actually take that and break it out. As you can see, it's affecting the other bevel. Let's get rid of the back face. And let's tone down the bevel on this. I was thinking along this line. Let's see if that's there. Okay, and let's select that and bring the 3D cursor there. So this, some of it may stand, some of it may be just block out stuff. Make that 16 for a little tube coming out of that, a little support stand. Rotate X 90. I'll get rid of some of the stuff because I might be able to use some of this. What if that was to come out? I'll even get rid of that. But then I'm going to use this again. Shift D. P to break it out. But I will put it back on this. Scale that in the X. I'm going to rotate this in the Y, just make it a little off kilter. That's the term you're familiar with. Let's shade smooth that, and add that, and let's shade smooth that, and let's shade smooth that. And then what I'm thinking underneath is a lantern. So we need to extend that a bit. So let's try this. Let's go for a circle with 6. So this is definitely a block out part because I'll probably have to put more work into the lantern. I'm just going to move it out here. I have to make a face. And let's extrude down. Actually, let's come out. I'm going to make it a little bit big, and then I'll make it small after that. Come in like that. And then I'll come down as the main lantern part. Okay, I don't like the size of this yet. Alright, anyhow, I won't spend too much time on this yet because it is kind of whip. And yeah, just to get an idea of whether or not something like this could work. That's what I got. Scale it down. And on the top of this here, I'm going to do, I might just do another cylinder and make it easy on myself. Let's do that. Shade smooth. And again, we're looking at some kind of a hanging thing. I think I'm going to do a torus there. What if I can just grab this one? Let's bring another one here. Like this. And shade smooth. And let's see. Yeah, it's looking a little wimpy, I think, for this. So let's do that. I'm going to join those together, and I'm even going to join that just so that I can move this thing. And then to hang it, let's take that down a ways. Let's try a plane. Rotate X90. Sorry about the jet airplane outside there. Scale in the X. Grab those vertices and shift control B and make a really nice kind of a curve like that. I can grab these and pull them down. I'll fix this up in a second. Alright, I'm going to grab this face and X only faces, that's important. And I'm going to convert this to a curve. I mean, I might do a better one later on. Under geometry, increase this. I just want a thin kind of a piece. Let's just grab that, and I didn't do that. A very nice job of moving that. Something like this, hang in there. And obviously this now has to rotate. I'm going to rotate the whole piece there. Control L. And let's rotate Z90 like that. And then that would hang. I don't really want them the same diameter though. So one of these is going to be smaller, and the other one's going to be bigger. We'll just have to see. Maybe I'll do this. Let's scale that in the X. Let's see. I'm in individual origins. Alright, Anyways, I'm spending a lot of time on something that may or may not last. Although some of this might, you know, why not? If I can get away with it, but not the shape of that. Yeah, there is something else I want to do anyhow on this. I want to put bolts on this. Yeah, like these. So I'm going to grab one from here. And I'm going to pull that out. And I'll break it out. You may not see it dead on, but you'd see it from an angle. And just the fact that they're there makes more sense to me. So let's do that. Okay, now are all these in lantern? Not these. So let's move those into the lantern collection. And then shift A, collection instance lantern. I'll set the origin to the 3D cursor and the geometry to origin. That'll get it in the area roughly. And just try something along this line. You know, to give an idea of something that we could do. Let's double check. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, so let's leave it at that for now, and we'll come back and do some more modeling and then get into texturing.